Hey, what's up? We're back, and this week it's for Bellator 206, and I'm actually pretty excited for this card. It's going to be Gegard Mousasi against Rory Macdonald in the main event, 5-round title fight, 185 pounds. Rory Macdonald's moving up, so that should be interesting. And then we get some, nostalgia a little bit with Quinn and Jackson against Vanderlei. They're going to have their third fight, I believe, third or fourth fight. I don't even know. It might even be the fourth fight that they've had together, but they fought quite a few times. And then Koreshkov 2, or 3, which it's 1-1, so this is going to be the third fight. So this is the rubber match, the first fight. Koreshkov won, second fight Lima won, so we're going to see who wins that rivalry. And then, Aaron Pico, Leandro Higo. And then the first fight of the night is going to be Kerry Melendez against Dakota Zimmerman. And, this is a pretty interesting matchup. Kerry Melendez is... everyone knows her from being Gilbert Melendez's wife, and then also having a pretty extensive kickboxing background, being a pretty good striker. I was pretty impressed. And then Dakota Zimmerman's a young girl. This is going to be her first pro fight, and she's going to be having a tough test. Fighting in Bellator, fighting in the main card. So this is a pretty big opportunity for her. She hasn't fought in about two and a half years, 2 years and about 4 months. So she has been off for quite a while, but. Kerry Melendez in the two fights I watched for Zimmerman, she looked pretty raw standing up. She didn't really move her head. She was a little bit open to be countered. And when she threw punches, they were a little bit of arm punches, and she didn't really have great footwork. She kind of plodded forward, threw straight punches. She had a really good chin, though. She was tenacious. She eats punches and kicks. She stayed in her opponent's face and then broke them as they gassed out. And her punches don't look very technical, like I said, but they do have some pop, and she bloodied the face of her first opponent pretty badly. And I have seen her drop to the head kick, hit with a ton of big shots, big overhand straight punches, but it doesn't deter her, and she's a tough chick, and that's something that I really like to look for in a lot of girls, especially early, because you could really tell if they could really take a lot of punishment and continue to walk forward. They can give a lot of people problems, especially if it's, the early level of MMA. And she doesn't really throw many kicks, and she only throws hooks and straight punches. But she does have decent clinch control. She does a good job of digging underhooks, controlling her opponents against the cage. She doesn't really have much offense from there, and she isn't really that dangerous from that position. And, so I don't really know if she's going to implement any new things from the clinch, but she does have decent control. And I do see that she's, been competing in a lot of jiu-jitsu competition. It seems like she really likes BJJ, so I'm sure jiu-jitsu is solid if she can get it on the ground. And she does have good cardio from the fights that I've seen, but they've only been 3-minute rounds, so this is going to be her first 5-minute round fight, so we'll see how she holds up there. But she does look like pretty tenacious, and if she can get it on the ground, maybe it could be interesting, And for Kerry Melendez, she's a beast kickboxer, she's 2-0, 2 finishes since coming to MMA, and I was pretty impressed with her striking, man. Extremely fluid and technical with her head movement and her footwork, slides just in and out of the way of shots, has really nice counters, really nice jab, nice straight right hand, good check left hook, straight right hand combo. She likes to land the right hand going backwards, keep her opponents at the end of her shots. She has a really nice check left hook. She'll land it in the pocket when her opponents are trying to land punches. Great leg kicks, very nice front kicks to the body. Very nice head kicks as well. She's really fluid with her kicking. Very fast. And her striking, I think she's going to be better than almost anyone she gets in there with in MMA. And I've yet to see if she has really a good chin because she doesn't even get hit much, but if she's anything like Gilbert, I don't think that should be a problem. She should be able to bite down with that mouthpiece and go to war. But we'll see. And she isn't really a grappler. You won't see her go for takedowns or try and engage in the clinch. I've never seen her attempt or defend a takedown attempt, but she does have good movement. It makes it hard for opponents to get in on her legs. She does follow her opponent to the ground in her last fight after dropping her, and she submitted her with a rear naked choke. So she's proven that she's picking up the jiu-jitsu game a bit. And her first pro fight was in 2016. She took almost 2 years off and returned in June of this year. And this is going to be her second fight in a few months, so she looks like she wants to stay a little bit more active here in MMA. She does have good cardio. She could strike all day long, and this is a tough fight for Dakota Zimmerman. Zimmerman's going to be tough, though. I think this is an interesting fight, if Zimmerman's a huge underdog, I wouldn't really want to play Kerry Melendez because, like I said, she's someone that'll walk through shots. And Kerry Melendez does have clean punches. She's very accurate. So, Zimmerman being very outmatched with the feet may come to pay for her. But, I also could see her, walking through a bunch of shots and, maybe getting the fight to the ground a few times, making it ugly. Who knows? But, it's an interesting fight. But I'm going to go with Kerry Melendez. Definitely have more confidence in her. I think that she's probably going to get the win here. And I'm going to say she wins via second round TKO. And then up next we have Aaron Pico against Leandro Higo. And, Aaron Pico's getting a big step up in competition here. He's having to face the former LFA Bantamweight World Champion. And, Higo's normally a 135er, so he's going to be moving up a weight class for this fight. But he's much more experienced in MMA. He has a pro record of 18-4. Pico's just 2-1. And the 3-1, I'm sorry, but the 3 wins that he's gotten, I went and looked. His last one that he got was a decent win. That guy had some wins over some Russians in M1 Challenge, Lee Morrison. He also, was on a decent win streak, but he also had a lot of losses in that M1 Challenge, and seems like he's kind of at the end of his career. The last few wins that he had before he fought Pico, he fought a guy that was 0-10. Fought another few guys that didn't have winning records, so he's kind of building himself back up to fight Higo. And then same thing with Shane Crutchin. He's 12-4, but he hasn't really fought anyone of note or beaten anyone of note. And Justin Lane, he's fought some good fighters, but has no wins over anyone that's good. So he really hasn't fought anyone or beaten anyone that's has any big wins in MMA. So, Leandro Higo's going to be a big test. Leandro Higo's been to a split decision with Eduardo Dantas, and he, like I said, won the LFA belt. He's beat Steven Peterson. He's beaten Terrion Ware. He's beat a lot of names. So, Joe Tamiglio. So, he's going to be someone that's going to give him a test here, in my opinion. He goes light on his feet. He has good lateral movement. Very nice low leg kicks, inside, outside. He stays active with the kicks throughout the fight. He has nice straight right hand. Does a good job closing distance, laying it from the outside. He'll throw the occasional 1-2, but he usually does not throw the jab much. He doesn't set a lot of his strikes up from the outside. He'll kind of just close the distance a little bit crudely. And I think that could put him in trouble with this fight with the takedown, because everyone knows about Aaron Pico. He's one of the best wrestlers in MMA, most likely. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens. But he stays active with kicks. He throws a lot of nice low leg kicks, like I said. And decent check left hook, but he doesn't really have much head movement. He gets hit clean with counter punches. He is pretty quick closing the distance, and he has decent power to his punches. And he is a good grappler. He does a good job getting double underhooks, control it against the cage, lay small knees until he looks for a body lock takedown. Good body locks. He's aggressive, trying to move directly in and out. Good double legs, gets the cage as well. He has good ground and pound elbows, but he is a great submission artist. He does a good job getting the back, locking in rear naked chokes. He'll dive on guillotines. He's solid off his back. He has a good deep half guard sweep, good arm bars, good triangles from the guard. He has a good chin. He's never been finished with strikes. He has been submitted 3 times. He has 10 submissions himself. He was finished very quickly in his last fight against Darion Caldwell, so he's going to be looking to bounce back here. And he's been a pro since 2006, so this is a big opportunity for him. And he needs to try to start fast, get Pico question himself early, because Pico hasn't really faced that much adversity, other than his first fight. But Aaron Pico looks like a monster, man. TJ Dillashaw talks about how much of a competitor he is, and how they're traded together all the time, and they're pushing each other. So obviously getting great rounds up there, and he's someone that's been really impressive with his striking. He's landed these nasty body shots. He's been trained with Freddie Roach. Has really good boxing. Really sets up his body shots well. Goes body head, and he has that one punch power. And he also has that wrestling in his back pocket always, man. He can take you down. He can smother you. He can troll on top. Has big, boomy ground and pound. Has a lot of experience, even though he doesn't have a lot of experience in professional MMA. He's fought a lot of amateur tournaments. Fought a lot of different styles. So definitely he's not going to be intimidated out there. And but I do think this might be like an interesting fight early. I don't think he's going to be able to just get him out of there like he's got his last few opponents out of there, because Leandro Higo is a good fighter. But ultimately, I think he's going to be able to get takedowns with Leandro Higo. And if he could just stay safe on top, I think he'll be able to control. And I'm going to say we see Aaron Pico go to his first decision here, and I'm going to say that he beats Leandro Higo by unanimous decision. He'll probably win all 3 rounds in my opinion, but I think it'll be fairly competitive. I think Leandro Higo will have spots in the fight, but I think Aaron Pico ultimately will be too much for him. And up next, Douglas Lima against Andrei Koreshkov. And really interested in this fight, this is the rubber match between 2 of the best welterweights in the world, and Andrei Koreshkov won an easy decision in the first fight, and then Lima got a pretty nasty knockout in the second fight. So Lima was down 2-0 in the second fight as well, though, on the cards before landing that nasty uppercut in a flurry. So, Koreshkov has won every single round, in my opinion, but Lima got the knockout. So in the second fight, he obviously had the last laugh there, but Andrei Koreshkov has a nasty jab, nice leg kicks, nasty spinning back kick to the body. He got a highlight reel KO with that in his last fight. He does a good job catching kicks and landing the straight right hand, and he'll hold on to that leg, continue punching, then take you down. He has a nice left hook in the pocket, good uppercut, left hook combo. His knees are nasty, man. Great step-in knees to the body, great knees to the head, great flying knees when your back against the cage. He's very technical. He usually always stays very defensively sound. He won't overextend, which made his loss versus Lima even more odd, because he kind of started winging punches in the pocket with Lima, got a little bit out of his character, and Lima usually does catch those uppercuts, but he did get a little bit out of his character there. But he likes to walk opponents down with his jab and his kicks, get you against the cage, then take you down with a double leg. Very good double leg. He was able to take down Lima at will in the first fight, and hunt him down for the entirety of the second fight in the second round. And he has a nice single-legged space. He was able to use that to take Lima down as well. Hard ground and pound elbows. He showed that against Chidi Ninja Kawadi with a quick ground and pound finish. Good arm bars, good chokes. Very good takedown defense himself. And his 2 losses are by KO, TKO. But overall, he has a good chin. He's never been submitted. He has great cardio. Stays very calm. He never gets emotional in the cage. And he's at his best versus Lima when he's walking him down. And Lima in the first fight accepted fighting on his back foot for the entirety of the fight. And he kind of, noticed that he does that all the time. He did that against Rory Macdonald as well. He was doing it in the second fight until he caught Koreshkov. So it seems like Douglas Lima is someone that's willing to give you the center of the cage. And Koreshkov, was easily able to take him down against the cage with double legs in the first fight. And in the second fight mainly. And, he was able to control Lima on the ground. When he took Lima down, Lima wasn't able to get up. So that's interesting, Lima did start trying to hold his ground more in the second fight, started to walk Koreshkov down a little bit. He had more success doing that. But, as the fight went on, he started to go back to walking back against the cage. He did get taken down with a double against the cage. And in the third round, he had his back against the cage again, and he got instead of looking for the double with Koreshkov, he started to throw a bit wildly in the pocket. He got hit with that uppercut. Lima hits that uppercut on everyone, man. He hit that uppercut on Paul Daly, hit it on Lorenz Larkin, hit it here on Koreshkov. So he has a really nasty uppercut in the pocket. And he's a huge welterweight. He has disgusting leg kicks. Some of the best leg kicks in the sport. You saw that against Rory Macdonald. He has a really nice jab. He's a counter striker. He likes to wait for his opponents to close distance, fight in boxing range. He's good in the pocket. He has huge power in his punches. Nasty uppercut. Nice straight right hand. But he can't get a bit inactive on the feet, not throw much. He does have nice front kicks to the body, but he doesn't throw them very much. He has a good single leg, and when he gets on top, he does a good job moving riding him out. But he doesn't wrestle much, and I feel like he only did wrestle in his last match with Rory because Rory was so hurt on his leg, which was questionable, man. I think he has a little bit of questionable fight IQ because right when he got up in that fourth round against Rory, and Rory shot for that takedown again very desperately, he should have disengaged, man. And he went and put double underhooks and tried to take Rory down, and ultimately got reversed. And that was a big mistake because he could have retained his belt there, in my opinion. If he would have just disengaged, started kicking that leg again, I think he would have won that fight. And he has very questionable takedown defense. Like I said, Koreshkov was able to take him down a lot, but he has improved with his double leg defense against the cage. He put up a little bit more resistance against Rory, but I do think Koreshkov is a bit of a better wrestler than Rory is. And if you take him down, he usually doesn't get up, man. He doesn't do much off his back. He doesn't have a good get-up game, and he can just lose rounds being controlled. And with Lima, you don't want to give him space because of his leg kicks, and you don't want to be in the pocket with him because of the dynamite in his punches and propensity to knock out fighters in the pocket, so it makes him a very dangerous striker. But his low output, willingness to fight going backwards, have an avenue for success by backing him up, taking him down, going body to body with him against the cage, not giving him any space. And Lima should be more aggressive, go forward more, throw more volume. And if he lets Koreshkov control the range, walk him down against the cage, I really think the only way he can win is by finish. And he has no chance of a decision victory that way. But ultimately, I'm going to pick Andrei Koreshkov for this fight. I feel he has the easiest path to victory. And that's staying to his game plan and winning the round. You know how he did in the first fight and how he was doing in the second fight before he made that mistake. And if he fights smart, closes the distance, careful in the pocket, gets body to body, clinches with him, takes him down, he'll win the fight, man. I also like that it's only 3 rounds, so it's less time for Lima to find that finishing blow or work his leg kicks. And due to that, I really like this spot for Andrei Koreshkov. I think that he has a good chance of winning here. I'm going to say Koreshkov wins 30-27. And I'm next to Quinton Jackson against Wanderlei Silva. And, this is the most, fight on the card that's the hardest to predict, in my opinion. It's really it's maybe not the hardest to predict, but it's just a little bit weird, because it's a nostalgia matchup. Both guys are in their 40s. They definitely see their better days. Wanderlei's fought one time in the last 5 years, and it was his loss to Chael. He's going to be moving up to heavyweight for this fight, and I saw pictures of him. He looks pretty jacked, pretty big. But both guys are going to be carrying a lot of excess weight than in their primes. And I still imagine Wanderlei's going to be the much smaller guy. But I got to be honest with you, man. In that fight with Chael, Quinton's fight with Chael, and Wanderlei's fight with Chael, from the limited time we saw Wanderlei on the feet, because Chael continuously was able to take him down, unlike with Quinton. With Quinton, Chael did have some trouble taking him down at times, had to strike with him probably, 7-8 minutes out of the 15, and just outstruck Quinton Rampage Jackson, hit him with the jab, was moving around him, hitting him with the straight right hand, using a lot of lateral movement, and Quinton just looked slow, man, like stuck in the mud, wasn't letting the shots go. And, Wanderlei on the feet against Chael was letting his shots go, man. He was landing some big hooks. He actually looked like he started some decent speed on his punches, to be honest with you. And he had some pop, man. He dropped Chael. He's the only person ever in Chael's career to drop him. So, obviously, he still has some decent pop in his punches. And he's going to be a heavyweight here, and he's going to be a smaller guy. And but I don't know, man. It's just tough. It's tough to pick Wanderlei. He hasn't won in 5 years. His only fight in 5 years is Chael. He got taken down kind of at will in that fight. But this is going to be a stand-up fight, man. Both guys are going to come and they're going to engage. I think it's definitely probably a good bet to pick inside the distance here, because if this goes to decision, it could be a really ugly, sloppy fight by that third round for sure. But, man, I don't know. I just think Rampage is going to have the size. I think he's going to probably have the power advantage. And, I think that Wanderlei's not going to employ, that type of game plan like Chael. He's going to stick and move. He's going to come in. He's going to try to knock Rampage out. Rampage is going to try to knock Wanderlei out. And just due to the size and just being a little bit more active, I'm going to say Rampage is able to get that knockout in round 2. And I'm going to go with Quinton Rampage Jackson. But it really wouldn't surprise me, man, if Wanderlei Silva got the win in that fight, to be honest with you. But up next for the main event for one of the fights that I've really been looking forward to for a few weeks, and in my opinion, one of the biggest fights of the year, so congrats to Bellator on that. But Gegard Mousasi against Rory Macdonald, and this is an exceptional fight, man. Rory Macdonald's going to be making his move up to 185 pounds, and I heard on the Helwani show today that he only weighs 190 pounds, so not very big. Gegard's probably sitting 210, 205 right now, so he's going to have a big size discrepancy. It's going to be probably very visible when they get in the cage together. And, I see this as a very hard fight for Rory Macdonald to win, man. Gegard Mousasi is extremely well-rounded. Rory Macdonald is the same. But from the distance, I see Gegard as a better striker. He has very clean punches, very fast, straight punches, a lot of pop on the end of his shots. Great jab, great straight right hand. No wind up on it. You can't tell when it's coming. And I think he's going to be popping that jab in Rory Macdonald's face, man, because Douglas Lima was hitting that jab. And I think Gegard's much cleaner with his punches than Lima. He's much faster, and he's going to be a lot bigger. He's going to pack a lot of power, man. And, I think he's going to go right to leg kick in that leg that Douglas Lima was beating up as well. And you always have to worry about that nose with Rory, too, and if he's landing that jab, he's peppering his face, that could be a problem for Rory. And, Rory doesn't have great hands, but he does have a decent jab himself. He'll try to land the straight right hand. But Gegard's punches definitely are faster, more impactful. Rory has decent kicks, but I don't think he's going to play a kick game plan here. And, I find it really hard to see how he's going to win this, because I think his only path to victory here would be if he could, control Gegard against the feds, take him down with the singles, take him down with his doubles, come back up with the body lock, and just win a grindy wrestling match, maybe get a submission. But how many people have submitted Gegard Mousasi, and he hasn't lost in a long time, he's won like 7 or 8 fights in a row. And I watched that fight with Chris Weidman, man. I was really impressed by that fight. That's one of the fights that really made me think that he's going to have a dominant victory in this fight, because Chris Weidman is a big guy. He's probably, I don't know, in the cage maybe 205 pounds, maybe 200 pounds in the cage. Easy, probably. He's a huge, huge middleweight. And, he had Gegard on the ground multiple times in the first round. Gegard Mousasi was able to get up within 30 seconds or less when he was in his guard. He was the one landing elbows. He would just get the butterfly guard, get right back up. Didn't allow Chris Weidman to continue to hold on to the clinch when he got up. He completely disengaged. And even when Chris Weidman got in a really advantageous position where he took the mount, landed some nice elbows, Gegard was laughing. He wasn't worried at all. He took the back. Gegard got a 2-on-1 on Chris Weidman's hand, turned in, and almost got top position. And Weidman was able to, kind of just reverse, just get away, and they went right back up to standing. Weidman wasn't able to do anything with that back mount, and that guy's a destroyer in the back mount, man. You saw what he does against a bunch of guys when he gets top position. He has crushing top position, and he's going to be much, much bigger than Rory Macdonald is, and Gegard wasn't fazed at all by that, man. And Rory, the single leg he was getting against Douglas Lima against the cage, and the doubles, I just don't know if that's going to work, man. I don't think that he's going to be able to continuously get that against Gegard Mousasi. If he does, and he's able to continuously get that single, continuously control him, or he's able to, take the back in the first round and lock on a rear naked choke. Congrats to Rory. That would be a big accomplishment, but I think that this fight's heavily, heavily favoring Gegard Mousasi. I just think that Gegard should win this fight for sure, unless he drops the ball, which, he has done before. You saw him against Uriah Hall back in the day get caught, but, it's not like Rory Macdonald's a knockout puncher either. He's not going to, more than likely, it's obviously anything's possible, but he's not going to more than likely catch Gegard with one punch and knock him out. But, Gegard has been submitted a couple times by smaller guys. He got submitted by Akinori Gono and Pride. That had to have been like in 2005 or something. I can't remember what that was, but, trying to think of anyone else that submitted him. Besides that, I think that might be the last time he's even been submitted, which was like in 2005. So, if Rory finds a submission here, that would be incredibly impressive. But I think more than likely, man, I think that Gegard's going to get a TKO here. 3rd, 4th round. I think it's just going to be too much, man. I think that Gegard's going to start landing on that nose. I think he's going to really bloody up Rory, start landing some big shots, hurt that leg, and I think he's going to finish him, man. And I'm going to go with Gegard Mousasi to retain his title and do it in dominant fashion. So Gegard Mousasi is going to get the win there. And for the parlay of the week, the odds haven't came out yet for this whole card, so it's a little bit hard to tell you, but I'll just give you some. I think that Gegard is a good pick. He is. I did place a bet on him, and he's about minus 250 now in most books. And for Andre Koreshkov as well, I think that he's worth a look, man. Lima's a scary guy. he could potentially finish the fight. But if I had to give you guys a parlay of the week that had pretty sizable odds, pretty good odds, in my opinion, I feel that Koreshkov will, be close to even money, maybe even be an underdog. So I would say Gegard Mousasi and Andre Koreshkov in a parlay could be pretty profitable. And if you want any other plays, maybe carry Melendez inside the distance. Or, if you want to take a flyer on Dakota Zimmerman, it's always possible with someone 2-0. She's probably going to be a huge favorite. And Zimmerman's a dog, man, so it's always possible she could potentially get a finish, but I think it is obviously unlikely. I do think that Pico is going to be a sizable favorite, so if you want to take the risk on Leandro Higo, I don't know if I would think that's extremely smart, but, I wouldn't lay the money on Aaron Pico either. And for Quinton versus Vanderlei, I mean, if you have a confident lean one way or the other, go for it. But for me, that's a fight that I'm just going to watch. I'm just going to enjoy. So maybe if you want to pick, the fight doesn't go the distance. But I don't even know if I'm going to do any bets on that fight. I'll probably just watch it, have fun, And hope you guys enjoyed the show. Please comment, like, and subscribe. And share the video with your friends if you think they would like it as well. And thanks for watching, guys. Almost to 700 subscribers. That's really cool. And I'll see you guys next week for a huge fight, Conor versus Khabib. So I'm expecting to get a lot of traffic for that fight. Hopefully we get a lot of views and maybe some new fans, some new viewers. And hope you guys like the show and hope we could win some money this Friday on Bellator 206.